again after, I would say, 6 years of absence, because I was heading another division, and now I'm heading both divisions, and I'm also very proud to be responsible for India within the ZF board. So I would like to give you some insights from our point of view about the commercial vehicle market, market reality to the commercial vehicle of the future. And we see how volatile our today's environment is in all aspects, in politics, in wars, in speed towards electrification, and I think it's a challenging world, but it's a nice world. If everything is going just one straight way, it would be boring, I would say. So I think you have heard a lot about ZF in the past 2 years, and not all news were really good. And this is why I would like to show you where ZF is today in total as a group, and then have a deeper dive into the Commercial Vehicle Solutions division. That's the official name, Commercial Vehicle Solutions, and followed by the context we are in, the customer and the market reality. These days I'm traveling very often. I've been to India last week, I'm going to China next week, and of course Europe is also very interesting in these days, but also Americas, where we have maybe to find other solutions instead of a full electrification, and then rounded up by our transformation journey. So when we created this presentation, the first line, the future is clear, and there was a full stop, and I said to Christopher, no, let's put a question mark here, because yesterday we didn't know what's happening today, and I think it will continue. So the direction we are heading to, I think, is the long-term direction is clear, but how we maneuver into this long-term direction, there might be some ways around the linear curve. So the path is stepwise. This is what we are learning every day, and our role, we understand, to support our customers on that journey here, from today's reality towards tomorrow's commercial vehicle. And the markets in total are not very promising for the time being, with the exception of India, I would say, where we have 20-30% plus. So that's really great. Other markets are somehow coming back again, but it's not a real big bang. So the overall worldwide production of commercial vehicles, I think in a couple of years we will see that we come back to a level which we had already in 2019. So that's our today's reality. And now let's go to the ZF group. As I mentioned, the reports were not very good over the last 1.5, 2 years, and frankly speaking, when I looked in the morning into the news, I saw news which were not really news, because they were 1 year old. ZF will set 10 to 14,000 people free in Germany. So nothing has changed, we have to go that way. But of course, some of your colleagues in the media industry, of course, they want always to show news which are not really news. And we have, in all aspects, we have a challenging market environment. When you look on the global production of pass cars, you see that the levels, the volumes are going down. We have a dramatic shift towards electrification, especially in China. And the volatility is extremely high in all our markets, and ZF is serving pass car by 74%. 75% industry business, which also belongs to me, and here we start from very tiny applications up to gearboxes for windmills. We are now active in the defense industry. So this is the markets we are serving to. What we see here is, in some markets, a very slow electric vehicles penetration. So if you look back a couple of years, everybody thought, okay, It will go very fast towards full electrification around the world. Right now we have the impression that it's only China and some markets are going that, but recent weeks and months have shown us how dependent we are on oil and gas, and this is why more and more private car owners are going in the direction of electric vehicles. I think in the long run this will be the trend, but of course for some or even many applications a full electric car, at least in our environment, in the Western environment, is not really prepared for that. I've been driving an electric car for nearly 3 years now. It works. If you want to drive an electric car, you can, and you can manage. But of course, you have to plan it in another way compared to what you're doing with a combustion engine, where every 5 kilometers you find a gas station. Markets are going down. That means if on an overall worldwide basis we have overcapacities, the cost pressure is really high. Same amount of OEs are fighting for a smaller market. So on us, the cost pressure is high, and as we were following the full path for electrification in past cars, which is not coming, we have to reform the ZF group, to restructure the ZF group. This is not easy, and of course we feel our social responsibility. We cannot just say, okay, now we make 10,000 people go. We have also a social responsibility, but we have to combine it with our entrepreneurial responsibility. So saving money, reducing cost, is that the way? No, it is not. Because we have also to create a future for ZF in total with new technologies and also create security for our jobs on a worldwide basis. So this is why we are working very hard on securing new business. And yeah, looking back into 2025, a 38 billion euros turnover for the entire group. We will come up in 2026 with nearly the same turnover. Of course, you have seen that in 2025, in the balance sheet, ZF showed a minus of 2 billion. So this is, of course, extremely worrying, but this minus of 2 billion euros does not come from operational performance. We had to reduce our forecasts for electric pass cars. This means the installed capacities are not 100% used, and this is why we took that step in order to write off this infrastructure part. The operational performance has improved, and we are back on a level which we had prior to the crisis we had. For me, it's not sufficient. We have to continue working on that, but operational performance is, I would say, is okay. But compared to previous years, we have a huge amount of debt. So last year we managed to pay back 250 million euros. That sounds like a huge number, but if you divide it, if you divide our debts with paying back 250 million, then it would take 40 years to pay back. This means that we have just switched the lever from one side to the other, but we have to continue working on operational performance, and step by step we will reduce the debts. And of course, we are also wondering what is really the core of ZF. And we have, over the last 10-20 years, we have started some new areas where we today say this is not really the core. This means we will spin off some parts of ZF, and this journey is not concluded. You may have heard about the sales of our U division to Harman, but the core of ZF stays as it is. So we have to focus on profitability over scale. For many years, and don't get me wrong, growth and size is important, but it's not the overall target. So maybe in a couple of years we will see less turnover at ZF side, but with a higher focus on profitability. You must not do everything, so concentrate on the core things. Debt reduction and restructuring is a topic, so we are in a constant move to reshape our organizations. We do it also for commercial vehicles, frankly speaking. In 2020, 2021, we acquired WABCO. It was definitely the right step. If you look today outside in our driving range, you will see how this fits together. But ZF has not yet concluded that journey because two actors, big actors in the commercial vehicle area came together. So if you join forces, you should reduce some parts of the overhead, and this is why right now we are also reorganizing the commercial vehicle division. 1.5 years ago, I would say I was, after 32 years within ZF, I was not 100% clear whether we have a bright future or not. In the meantime, I'm very clear that ZF is on the right path. So, and I wouldn't say this if I didn't believe it. So, good. Commercial Vehicle Solutions division. We have these days, or these years, we have a turnover of around 8 billion euros on a worldwide basis. We have therefore around 20% share within ZF. So it's a vital and important player within the ZF group. And we are spending right now, or in 2025, we spent 8.5% for research and development. You cannot afford to do this forever. So in around 6% on an annual basis, that's okay. But these days, with the transformation towards automated vehicles and electric vehicles, we have to spend really a huge number of euros, millions euros, on these both technology. And I can't remember how many decades we are part of the commercial vehicle industry, and I think we have shown that we are a reliable partner. You can trust on us, and you can challenge us. So definitely we are the largest commercial vehicle supplier with the broadest portfolio. That's clear, but as I said, size is not everything. But if you look around the world, it's hard to imagine that any of at least heavy commercial vehicles would be able to be operated without ZF. So especially in India, there is a clear message that without ZF, no truck would be on the roads in India. And we concentrate on the full support from birth to the end of the commercial vehicle lifetime, because if we would just concentrate on software, metal, iron, then of course we could not compete with some other suppliers around the world. So we start with the joint vehicle development. We help in order to set up the production in the right way with the right application. For us, it's clear that one of our benefits is our large service network around the world with repair and maintenance workshops on a consistent basis, especially when you look on others. We need upgrades and updates over the air, and we help also with some products on our side to optimize the fleet operations and the management. So over the full lifetime of a commercial vehicle, that may take until 30 years or 40 years even. So you see how important it is to be also a good partner after the end of production of some products. So what customers expect, and this is also referring to the last 2 years investment, durability and sustainability. Frankly speaking, some of our large customers, they asked us, is it good to start with ZF, a new project, a new vehicle project? Yes, it is. We are in a very stable position right now again. And we prove that on an operational efficiency, that our products are way ahead of even of Chinese electric suppliers. So we have just managed to conclude a joint venture for electric drives in China for the Chinese market. So that's a great proof of success. We always have to update our products depending on the regulatory compliance issues. And yeah, we want to provide future-proof technologies, and this is why we are also entering the field of hybridization for commercial vehicles. There are big question marks over the last couple of years whether this is needed or not. In the meantime, we have a couple of existing customers which are interested in hybrid technology for commercial vehicles as a bridging technology. We all know that in some areas around the world the grid is not available to an extent which is needed to go on full electrical solutions. We have a wide presence within our commercial vehicle community in 28 countries. We have 40 production sites around the world, everywhere. We have a large footprint in India, we have a large footprint in China. We have a large footprint in Europe as well, also North America and South America. The division comprises 27,000 employees we have around the world, so it's really a huge division. The direction is clear. More and more automated trucks, buses, more electric driven buses and trucks, but the transition is dynamic, as I outlined with when it comes to hybrid technology. We are starting right now, and you will see it outside, the hybrid technology of our traction transmissions. That's a decisive step. The industry is not quite sure whether it needs that step, but some OEs, they tell us very clearly they cannot manage the full electrification and the CO2 reduction target without a bridging technology. So infrastructure readiness is important. As I said, I'm driving on a private basis an electric car, and all the people around told me, you can't do that because 350 kilometers one way, you can't do it, you will not survive. And I survived. This is why I'm here today. Within the last 3 years, the infrastructure, at least for passenger, also in Germany, has improved. And if there is anybody saying, okay, I don't find a charging station, it takes too long time, then this is maybe arguments for those who don't want electrification. When it comes to trucks, that's a different story, because we need a higher capacity of the batteries. I would say that the infrastructure, at least in our Western Hemisphere, is not prepared for that. But if you compare it with the development in the passenger car, I'm pretty sure that this will take place, and we should not underestimate how China is driving the technology around the world. Right now, in China, 30% of the up to medium trucks are electrified, and they are doing the same. And they are delivering first units, especially to the northern part of Europe. And why? Because energy is relatively cheap there. And so hopefully our OEs in the Western world, they don't underestimate the pressure which is coming out of China. And when we are at the IAA show, we will see some electric Chinese trucks equipped with our drivelines, the PI10 project, central drive solutions, but also axle-based solutions. So this will come. So we need system-level solutions. If you look on a truck today, on a bus today, without interaction of all the components, it would be just metal and whatever. But the intelligent allocation of the products and the interaction is extremely. And Ivan will tell you more about the software-defined vehicle. So yeah, our vision still is the same as some years ago: 0 accidents. 0 emissions, because commercial vehicles are very important contributor to emissions, and so the future will be even more software defined. at a certain point of time it will be fully electric, but this will take time. And yeah, the video we have seen right at the beginning showed it very clearly. We have a lack of drivers still. And this is why we have to support the drivers and the owners of the fleets even more in order to avoid accidents. Scalable technologies that are designed to evolve over time, and this is the important thing. So thank you very much. This is the introduction from my side, and I'm looking forward to any Q&A related to my part.
You mentioned India as one of the bright spots when you spoke, and you speak about it as well. In your views, what has India done right? What are we doing right? And what needs to be done moving forward to keep this growth continuing, in your view?
I've been to India many times until 2015, and you could have the impression that India is announcing a lot, but it's not coming. So that was in the past. 1 year ago, I was again, for the first time again, in India, and I could clearly see the difference. And I'm really impressed by the growth of new infrastructure in India. There are some ingredients you need to be a successful country. One is education. If you look to India, you have so many highly skilled engineers over there. You will have infrastructure. And what I really admire is that India took the conclusion: we are so depending on gas, on oil, and whatever, and we want to be, we want to determine our future by ourselves, and this is why electrification is driven to such a high extent. And I was coming from the bus side, and of course, whenever I see a bus on the road, I'm still looking on the bus, and I saw an old bus. At least it looked old in India, but it was a full electric bus. So I think a lot of things in India are really going into an admirable direction, I would say. Of course, we see that India is a democracy. Some things, infrastructure take longer than in other countries. But India is progressing very well, and I would say they have a clear master plan.